Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Taf, to our Instagram account. Thank you for joining us there on Instagram. We are testing here, and thank you, Mr. Ruben. Mr. Ruben is with us on Zoom, and who is there with us on Facebook and YouTube? We have a few people joining us now. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for joining us on the different platforms, wherever you are. Thank you. Tafa Marks is on Instagram saying hi. Hello, Taf, also to you. And thank you for joining us here this evening. And I hope that we can have a nice conversation tonight. We can really share more about online digital ministries. And we will start in a few more minutes. I'm hoping that the algorithm will start sharing our live stream um, everywhere so we get a little bit more uh, coverage. And right now we have a few people only on each platform, so let's hope that more people can join us and share this comment. Our videos have been well received over in different platforms as well as across the oceans on different continents. They are watching our lives, and they're also rewatching our our videos that are part of the details there on YouTube and Facebook. They are stay there, and they're part of the archives. So you can go back and look at any of the previous weeks. We have now 10 weeks that we have been doing this. For 10 weeks, we have 10 different topics that we have discussed, anywhere from what is online ministry to what it is to do digital missionary. And we also cover equipment, investment, how to live, and all kinds of different activities that I hope that you can learn from as part of our experience of sharing digital lifestyle. Okay, I think that we are ready to start, so I'm gonna give the cue here. I don't have the video introduction, so give me a second. I'm going to pull everything here, make sure that it is okay. And yep. Okay, I have everything under control. And let's go back here. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for joining us, and thank you for being with us here. And thank you for joining us on different platforms. I hope that the audio is well. Thank you for Kemedrano to join us there on Instagram. And thank you for everything. If you are on Instagram, if you are on Facebook, on YouTube, on any of the platforms, please leave there a thumbs up. Tell me where you're connecting from. We have people here from Bangkok. We have people from Indonesia. We have people from Kemedrano, I think is in South America. I'm not sure. But thank you everyone for really connecting here with us. And share this with other people, share with your friends, share with those around you, that they might be able to learn a little bit more about digital missionary, sharing your message, sharing your gospel, sharing your biblical experience with those around. Today we're gonna share a little bit more about how to influence change through our comments, or how to comment online. And I hope that today you can see our digital missionary, or how you can make a difference online through one more channel, to one different channel, and that is through making comments and being part of a community online. So without further ado, let me introduce myself. If you don't know me, my name is Pablo, and Pablo Rios. I'm from Uruguay, and I am living in Thailand, in Bangkok. I've been here for 7 years. God brought me to this beautiful country as a missionary 7 years ago, and I have enjoyed working for the church for over 12 years, until the last 2 years I decided to really go on my own and make something for myself, experience what online digital missionary was. And really God has blessed me a lot, and this is what this series is all about, to share with you some of the things that I have learned online, to live online, to work online, and of course to also share the gospel of salvation with those around us. So I hope that tonight you can be blessed. Hope that tonight you can also join me in sharing the good news of salvation and your gospel with those around you. Without anything else, I would like to ask us all to pray. So there where you are, just take 1 minute of your time. Yes, ask God to be with us, that the Holy Spirit might fill our hearts, that God might fill our minds with wisdom and understanding. That tonight, as we share, that we might be able to understand His holy word and be able to move forward into a challenging world to share His message. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for your prayers. And we will start here with something that is very important. I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Gary Barnichuk, online, and he was having an interview with Charles D'Amelio. Charles D'Amelio is one of the biggest, well, the biggest TikToker right now on the platform on TikTok, and she has amassed over tens of thousands or a couple millions of followers on the platform, and she's really one of the persons that really brought that TikTok app into being known everywhere for the dancing and lip singing type of content on TikTok. And she was only 16 years old when she started that TikTok account, yes, dancing and having fun with her friends. And she went and had an interview with Gary B. And one of the important questions that she had for him is about how can she deal with hateful comments on her account, on her platform. And that really started to do something in me as I read more into what she was trying to say. And they started to talk, of course, about trolling. And we all know about trolling. And next week, we're going to talk about trolling. So next week, we're going to learn more about what trolling is, how to answer trolls, and how not to be a troll ourselves. But today, I want to talk to you about what came about after that, because I was looking at what Charles D'Amelio was saying, and I noticed how connected she was with her audience, with the people that were following her, and how the individual started to hurt. I was hurt by the comments that people will leave on her TikTok account. I started to research more about it, I started to read more about it, what are comments about, and of course, Gary Vee and many other social media influencers online have a lot to say about the power of comments. So I started to dig more and more into that area to see what is the power of comments and what is the community behind the comments. And that is something that was very interesting. Oh, I see they're having some challenges there with Zoom. Okay. Grace Stitch, thank you so much for joining us on Instagram. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for connecting us there. Okay, I hope that for some reason we had some audio issues with some of the channels. I think you can hear me well on Facebook, on Instagram. Are you hearing me okay? Okay, perfect. Good audio there. Facebook, YouTube, everything okay? Great, thank you. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for watching there on Facebook. And now we have good audio on Zoom as well. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know. I'm checking your comments and getting you the details here. Thank you so much for joining me and being part and sharing back. So what I was saying is that those comments, actually, that what you left me there, that thumbs up on Instagram, those comments on Facebook, those comments on YouTube, those are what makes up the community. And it's interesting how that is a whole different world of social media, a whole different world of what it is to be connected online. And it has to do with the relationship between the content and what the people are feeling, what the people are receiving on the other end. And there are numbers of papers that talks about the importance of commenting and the importance of engaging with your audience online. And that is no question. Even Gary B, when he talks about growing your Instagram account, growing your YouTube account, he always says leave comments and start commenting more. Take more time for commenting in other networks, commenting in other communities, and be part of the community. And I thought, well, if it is important for us to build our brand, to build our network, to comment on other people's channels and to really engage with the community, then what about if we use that as one way of connecting with people? Because when I go to different channels, then for example on YouTube, depending the channel that I go to, that is the demographic that a channel is attracting is specific. For example, I follow a channel on YouTube that deals with news and media in Thailand. It's called The Tiger, and in that channel, it's not a sponsor, by the way. They are not a sponsor in this. I just mention it because I watch them every day or whenever I can. And in that channel on YouTube, they give a short briefing of what are the news for the days around Thailand, and it's very interesting. It's very nice. But the power about that channel is not only the presenter, it's not only the quality of the presentation. Actually, if you notice, if you go back to a few months ago when they were doing the videos and they started, the video quality was not very good, the audio was not very good, but they were consistent on uploading. But most importantly, they were engaging with people on the comments. And the demographic of people that were there in the comments are mainly expats living here in Thailand. So what I mean is people that are not Thai, they are English speakers living in Thailand. So I started to comment there myself, started to leave some comments here and there related to the videos, related to the host talking about his shirt, about his cats. And the comments started to pick up. People started to read my comments, reply to my comments, and then I will reply to their comments, and we start with a conversation. And that is something interesting about how that community works on different channels. It's the same thing on Instagram, the same thing on Facebook. You have the post, and if the post comes from an influencer, comes from a channel that has a good following, then you have a couple of hundreds, sometimes even thousands of comments under there. And that is part of the community who is engaging in the community. So my first point for tonight, it is that there are communities around every channel or every content creator on YouTube. So on Instagram, on the different social media accounts. So the first point is we need to be part of those communities. We need to be part of those communities to be able to really enter into the community and connect with people that are not of our same points of view. You might say, well, what would be the best way of us to do evangelism or to go out and connect with people that are in need of God? And somebody might raise their hand and say, well, we can go and distribute flyers in the bars, or we can go at the nightclubs and distribute flyers about healthy living, about healthy choices. Well, yes, you are looking at the right demographics, people that need God. But that moment in time, that specific event, might not lend itself for us to go and distribute flyers right at the outside of the bar or outside of the nightclub. So that might be stretching it to a different era altogether. But the marketing idea behind it is correct. So here we're thinking about the same thing, but in a way that is part of the community. You're connecting with the person on these different channels. I'm not telling you to go out and look for channels that are about drinking or about things that are of the world, but about channels that are about things that you care about. For example, it's not any secret that I am a big fan of Tesla and SpaceX. I follow the news, I invest in their stocks, and of course SpaceX doesn't have stocks, but they are owned 10% by Google. So I follow them, I see what they are doing every single day. I follow 3 or 4 different channels that always post news about Tesla, about SpaceX. And because I am in that community and I know what is going on, I always see myself to comment and to add to the pool of knowledge in those communities. And most of them are not Christian, most of them are not Adventist for sure. And I can share more about our interest for Tesla, for EVs, for the Tesla as an investment company, as a company to invest in, or SpaceX and the future of the SpaceX technology, what they're doing with Starlink, and all the different things that they are doing there. We start to have a conversation, and I am part of that community. So the first point is that we put ourselves in communities that are of interest to us, where we can form part of that community and start connecting with people. So I don't need to be a big social influencer and start producing videos every day. I'll have a following of thousands of hundreds of people on my different social media accounts to start making difference. I can be part of different social events, social channels, and start leaving comments that are enriching, meaningful, and empathetic. And those comments will create a connection between you and different users who will go click on your picture, click on your profile, go find more about you, find more about your beliefs, your philosophy, and eventually, with the help of the Holy Spirit, they will find that link on your social media account, that post on your social media account about the second coming of Jesus, about the love of Jesus, about health, about education, about any other topic that will link you with your experience of salvation. And of course, you will be able to share more about that with them, or just direct them to one of our hundreds of different studies on the Bible, different hundreds of studies that we have on health, on Revelations, and Daniel, that you can link people into. So it is not a much of what we can post and what we can share online, but the first point is about being part of the community, going out there and making meaningful impact as part of the community. We are not going to troll, and we're going to talk about that next week. But today, the important thing that you need to understand, it is to be part of the community. Give some value, share your point of view, share your experience. Not necessarily give advice or give the answer or the solution for world hunger, but give your point of view, give your experience, be respectful, and be part of that community. Engage in that community. So my number one will be to engage in that community, and you will start to be part of that community. Maybe next month, in the month of October, I would like to challenge you to an influence change challenge, that every day we will go and we will start leaving comments on channels that we're interested about. So I will say, sit down for 30 minutes and write as many comments in different channels that you follow that are meaningful, that show care, love, and empathy on those channels. And let's start to see how God uses our comments to bring people closer to us and closer to God. So that is point number one that I want to make this evening. To be part of other communities is also to do evangelism, is also to do online ministry, because we are being part of other communities, and you're standing out because you are educated, you have the Spirit of God, Spirit of wisdom, and you are able to empathize and connect with people in a level that is different because you truly care. You have learned about the love of God, you have experienced the love of God in your life, and I'm sure that you can connect with people for what God has done through you and for you. So that's our number one point, to connect with different communities online through our comments. And number two, we go into a little bit more detail, go deeper into what to comment or how to comment, how to enter into that community. Sometimes we go there and we don't know what to write. We need to go into channels, into communities that we are interested about. I will choose communities in investment, communities in space, in electrical vehicles, in online, in marketing, in evangelism, in online digital ministry. Those areas are the areas that I love, and I can talk from my experience. I can share what my experience have been, and I can share how God has been part of that experience. So I choose those areas that I love. So first, when you go into that community, the first thing and the most important thing that I think that we need to understand when we make a comment is to have empathy. And empathy is a big word. And I think that empathy is something that we can spend a number of weeks talking about this topic. But when it relates to comments online, empathy, for me, it is about trying to understand what the person is trying to say or is meaning to say, and how we can respond with our experience. Normally, empathy is meant, or a common meaning of empathy is to understand the other person and put ourselves in someone else's shoes. And that is a big thing, because some philosophers might say, well, you cannot fully understand somebody else if you have not gone through the same thing. But at the same time, you can say, well, people can connect with you, and they can connect with how you feel online, by also you trying to empathize with them, try to really connect with them and show them what you are thinking, what you are going through. So that empathy, that trying to understand what they're trying to say, is something important. And empathy, saying I understand, is something important. I came across a channel that was very informative, and after I watched a few videos and I commented on a few of the videos, I realized that the host was gay and very liberal on his views. And how I noticed this is because many of the comments started to point it out, and they didn't point it out in a very nice way. And it really made me think how I can connect not only with the people on that community, but as well with the host or with the creator that is putting out this content, um, with empathy, understanding where the person is coming from, what the person is trying to say, and talk with an empathy, trying to put myself in their shoes. And it was something difficult, for me at the beginning, but when I was able to really disconnect my feelings or disconnect my expectations from it and try to put myself in their shoes and see how difficult it is to really produce content and put ourselves out there, the time that it takes for us to really put together a script and organize a way for us to share online any content. um, I understood how difficult and devastating it could be for the person to receive those type of comments. I was able to make a comment with empathy, with love, even though the person is not somebody that I can relate to or that I can support with their philosophies or where they stand in life. I can understand where they're coming from. And that's something that is important also. Empathy, or saying I understand, does not mean that you validate the person. Having empathy does not mean that you agree, does not mean that you give free rein to the person. When people hurt you, when people do something to you, um, it's difficult because we have these expectations of what the world should be, of how the relationship should be, and we feel hurt. But we don't feel hurt because of the reality that people did what they thought was best or what they think that is best on their best interest. Or better, or even better yet, sometimes they do it thinking that it's on the best interest for you from their perspective, and they hurt you because from your perspective they did not meet your expectations. But the reality is that it could be something completely different. And having empathy for this person does not mean that you agree with what the person did or that you are going to forgive what the person did. That is completely on the other person. You cannot control what they feel, what they do, or if they feel that they need to ask for forgiveness or change. That is the other person's responsibility. Your responsibility is to try to understand. Because the most important, the biggest feeling that we have on this earth as human beings is our need, our desire to be understood. And that is something that for me was very deep to understand. Because when we speak and when we share with others, we really, at the end of the day, what we are trying to do is what we're trying to make other people understand. So when people comment online, when they comment on those channels, on those different platforms, and you enter into that community, understand that their comments, understand that what they are saying is just trying for themselves to be understood. So point number two is when you comment, comment with empathy. Try to understand where they're coming from, what they're trying to do. And number three, provide value. Because when we share a message online, when we try to say is our first instinct to speak from our point of view, to give my answer, to give my solution, and to give my advice. But people are not there for advice. People are commenting there, sharing what their point of view is, even what their hurt is, what their pain is. A research in 2017 showed that 23% of adults online have sometime on some way bullied or troll other people online. 23%. That is almost that's 1/4 of all the comments, all the people that are online. And that is what we have 3 billion people online at the moment if we combine the different social media platforms. So that will be 23% of 3 billion people have made hurtful comments online, have trolled other people online. And that is big. Of adults ages over 28, the research showed in 2017 that 47% of adults in their life online, they had in some way shared a hurtful comment online. That you make a comment that it was derogative or was bad or meant to hurt online. That's 47%. That's 1/3 of all adults on our social media. So it is quite prominent. Trolling is quite a big problem, and that's why we're going to talk about it next week. But when we go online, we understand that these people that are commenting there, many of them are coming from that point of view, with that idea that they want to share the pain. And the truth is that pain that is not dealt with is pain that is shared, that is transmitted. So I read an article by individual that was trying to connect with the people that were trolling online, that were leaving hurtful messages online. And he found out that the majority of these people were people that themselves were bullied in school or were somehow going through difficulties in their own life. Understand that people that are making the comments online generally is because they find online a safe place where they can go and dump their feelings on them. And if they are feeling hurt, if they are feeling that they were not treated with respect, or if they feel that were not treated justly, they will just go and share in the same thing, in the same way. Just go and vomit there online and share their mind because they feel it's a safe place for them. They feel it's a place where they can really share with others and be safe, that nobody can know who you are, and you feel safe through the screen of your phone or your computer or your tablet. And that's the reality, that you have to see that at the other end of that comment or the other end of that post or the end of that video, there's a real person. There's no a machine that is making those videos or machine that is writing those comments. It's a person with feelings. And that's why empathy is so important. But that's also why we need to provide value. Because when we comment, we need to comment giving our point of view, how we can add value to the conversation, add value to the community, Not just say thumbs up, happy, good, awesome, great post. That's not adding video and not adding value. Adding value is commenting about what you found interesting on the video, or commenting your experience about the content, about the subject matter. Or what is best, if you find a comment in the section or a discussion that's going on about something that you can relate with, comment with value. It's true that the people that will reply to your comment most likely will be trolls right away, and we'll deal with that next week. But the first step is for you to comment. And the truth is that for every bad comment, there are at least 20 other comments behind there that were never posted. So one comment that was posted means that at least 20 other people wanted to reply to your message but didn't know what to say. So don't worry about that 1, 2, 3, or 5 hurtful comments on your page or on your comment, because there were many other people that saw your message and saw the value that you were sharing and can connect with the empathy that you were sharing. And those are the people that you want there to click on your message, click on your avatar, click on your profile, and go and see what you are all about. People that can connect with the way that you talk. I created a Instagram account some years ago called Brief World News. We grew to about 5,000 followers in a few months, and it was interesting to really read the comments and share with the comments how the people see the news in every country in different continents, and how people react and argue about the news. It was a very interesting experiment for me, and after a few thousand followers, I just decided to focus on other projects and leave that aside. But it was a very good example for me, a very good experience to really understand people and how they comment online. And I think that also helped me to come up with these 3 different ways of how we can do ministry online, and how we can connect with people on online basis. And with these 3 important points, I would like to challenge you to spend some time to go and make meaningful comments online. Number 1, find a community or communities that you feel safe, that you feel connected with, that you love the topic, you love what they're talking about, and go there and become part of that community. Follow, like, and read the comments. Like the comments, dislike the comments, reply to the comments, become part of those communities. These communities are communities of non-Christians, non-Adventists, communities in topics that you like to watch, and communities that you like to really research more or know more about. Go ahead, that will be even better, because you are doing outreach. And go and be part of that community. Like, dislike, share, reply. Second, show empathy. You might have videos or posts that will lend themselves for you to have empathy with people, to show them that you care, to show them that you understand where they're coming from, to show them that you understand what they're trying to do, you understand what they're going through. Try to share that empathy with them. Try to put yourself in their shoes and share with them. Let them know that you have that connection, that you want to know more, and that will lead to a bigger connection with that person or that community. And third, share value. So when you go and you comment, not only show empathy, but also share value for the people. Go and give some value through your experience, to what you have read, to what you have seen. Try not to make it an advice or something that they should follow, something that will close the communication, because you want them to reply, you want to have a conversation. So don't be close and say, this is how it is. Creationism is the most important thing. I make a comment, I remember, a few months ago on one of the videos from Neil deGrasse Tyson. He had a YouTube video talking about what came first, the egg or the chicken. And in his presentation on YouTube, he said the egg, because whatever laid that egg was not a chicken. So the chicken could not have laid the egg. So the egg was first. And His presentation sparked, of course, a lot of comments and discussions, and I love to go through those comments and find some that I can relate to and share with them. And when I share with them, I don't say the Bible and the Bible alone. I don't tell them, you're all gonna go to hell. You are all sinners and have wrong, and you are not in the light. Because that does not create conversation. That does not help me to see where they're coming from, and that does not help them to break any barriers or walls to try to understand what I am trying to say. So I'd rather give comments. What about this? In my experience, I have seen this. What do you think? And I try to end with a question. So I add value. This is my experience. This is what I have been through. This is what I have read. What do you think? Can anybody enlighten me? Or can anybody follow this? And do it with respect. Do it with kindness. And that will create communication and a channel for you to start a relationship with people. Don't worry about the trolls and the people that will send you somewhere else and away from it. We'll deal with that again next week. But just worry about you. You cannot control other people. You cannot control how other people act. You cannot control how other people feel. You cannot control how the other people see you. You can control only you. So you do you, as I say, and try to be the empathetic, give value, and connect with people. Because that's what we're here to do, to demonstrate the love of God, to demonstrate the kindness of God, the empathy of God, to share the value and to share the gospel of salvation to people. And we can do that in many different ways. You don't need to start a big YouTube channel or a big Facebook account or to be famous on TikTok, but you can connect with people on those platforms, on different communities that you are part already of, and start giving value, start empathizing with people, start conversing with them, creating value and connecting. If you have thought with any questions, you have anybody? Oh, you have somebody there. Norma La Chica, thank you so much for joining us from the Philippines. Thank you, Grovina Vanessa, to join us there on Instagram. And you have any questions? Have you had any experience with comments online, with comments on social media? Have you had any experience with sharing the message online on the comments section of the social media accounts? Any question that you would like to ask? Anything that you would like to share? If you are on YouTube, on Zoom, on Twitch, or on Instagram, anything that you would like to share or ask that can bring some value to us or that can expand our understanding. There, I am on all of the channels monitoring there, so please feel free to just add there on the chat section and I'll be able to see it. When you think about your questions, I would like to invite you for next week. This is a weekly series, so I connect with you every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Bangkok time. So that is +8 in Bangkok, Thailand. So you can check your time there in the Philippines, in Indonesia, in South America, where you're joining us from, and check the time for you. And we connect here every Tuesday and share more about our view and our experience with online digital ministries. We talk about anything from how to support ourselves financially, how to connect with people as we did today, and next week we'll talk about how to deal with trolls and what is a troll online. So that will be a very interesting topic, and I hope that you can join us and you can invite other people. But also this program here is a ministry of Trinity Adventist International Church here in Bangkok, Thailand. It's sponsored by community7.org, and we have our calls actually every single night. So I invite you to be part of this community. Follow us there on the social media account where you are, or you can come to our website at bangkokadventist.com and see the programming for each week. We are here Monday to Friday at the same time at 8 p.m. On Fridays it's a little bit earlier at 7:30 p.m. But we connect here on Zoom as well as on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. for Tuesdays and for the rest of the week on Zoom and on Facebook and YouTube. So I encourage you to connect at bangkokadventist.com and be part of the conversation there. Okay, if we have no questions online, I will like to leave you this challenge, and you can follow me on any of the other social media accounts, and you can follow me on any of the social media accounts, and you will be able to okay, my account on social media, I was trying to flag it on the screen, but it is not coming on. For some reason, my media is not working. Oh, that is a problem. But you can find me online on any social media account with riospablo.co. That is riospablo.co, and you will be able to connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn, TikTok, or Twitch, riospablo.co, and online at riospablo.com, and know more about what we are doing. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being with us tonight, and I appreciate that you are here and join us. I would like to ask you for us to pray as we finish. Dear Lord, thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for your blessing. Help us, Lord, to connect with other people, to expand and extend our reach, Lord, online, that we might be able to be lights around a world of darkness. Continue to guide us, give us the courage, the understanding, and the wisdom to be, Lord, your mouthpiece in the world. We pray all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. With that, I thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you soon. With that, from my heart to yours, thank you, God bless, good day, and good night.